About that, guys. Just had some technical difficulties. Slow flow once again, acting up. But welcome to the live once again. Another Sports Frenzzyy live show. I'm your host Levon, and we have Corey, Jason, and Bones, and we expect Emo to be in here soon. So, as I mentioned, we will be here to talk about some cricket and some football. First up, we'll speak about the regional cricket that has been taking place over the past couple of days, and tomorrow, we'll see the grand finale between the Trinbago Red Force and the Guyana Jaguars. Jaguars had a stellar performance yesterday, man. Shimran Etmaya with a brilliant century. He, along with Reefa, staged a very good recovery after they were in a slump at one point and they never expected to make as much as they did. But Reefa and Etmaya came together and they stitched together 194 fifth wicket partnership. It was brilliant to watch, man. They attacked all throughout it. Etmaya.
Very.
I remember there was this ball, I think his name is Ray Jordan. He was bowling pretty well at one point, and then Etmaya took the attack to him and hit him for 2-6 back to back. So the second one, the man stood there in admiration like this. I was like, it was so fun. But tomorrow we see both of them taking on each other, the Trinbago against the Guyana. And to be honest, they have been the two best teams throughout the entire tournament. First up, Corey, how is this one going tomorrow?
Tomorrow it will be, to me, is West Indies versus Guyana. That Trinbago team is full of stars all round from the opening go down to the bowlers. As you mentioned, the game with Hetmaya and Reefa, they took that game away from the Leeward Islands there, and it was an enjoyable innings by Hetmaya. But overall, in tomorrow's game, I expect the Trinbago to come out victorious. They have firepower all round. In the bowling, they can come up good. Ravi Rampal at age 40 is still going there. The bowlers Hussein and Pollard can jump in as well. But I expect Trinbago stars to come out good and win the game.
All right, Dima, your take on it?
Yeah, by the way, Sunil Ambrose gave away that game as the captain for Leeward. That was a stupid decision to take the ball and bowl himself when you had the team 40 for 4. But Trinidad have been the outer class team throughout this whole competition. They haven't lost a game. They had the luxury of resting Narayan because he had a slight injury and they just could rest him and they didn't seem to lose a beat. Trinidad will win this game easily. They're the favorites. And despite Guyana having a little bit of form with Hetmaya and the others, I think they'll just be too strong. The slower balls that Trinidad use, Rampal and all of them, Pollard, it's going to be too much for Guyana tomorrow. And Trinidad will come away, and I think this is going to be their 6th victory in this competition. I think they won the last 5. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
But you know what I've been impressed by for the Guyana Jaguars? This bowler, Gudakesh Moti. And it leads me to one thing that I saw earlier on. So West Indies have an upcoming series against Sri Lanka. The teams are announced for the ODI and the T20. I'm going to read out the T20 squad, then I'll read out the ODI squad. So for the T20 squad, it's Captain Pollard, Nicholas Pooran, Fabian Allen, Dwayne Bravo, Fidel Edwards, Andre Fletcher, Chris Gale, yeah man, where the universe boss is back.
Yes,
Jason
sir.
Holder, Akil Hussain, Evan Lewis, Obed McCoy, Ravman Powell, Endel Simmons, and Kevin Sinclair.
Wait, you just call, this is what, the T20?
T20.
Yeah man, that's a T20
You call
squad.
Jason Holder name in the T20 squad?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
What merit Jason Holder plays in the T20 squad? T20.
Because he's been banging it in the Big Bash.
Yeah, I was just about to point out that he played very well in the Big Bash League.
So we have Hetmaya out and Jason Holder in.
Hola Nabas, we'll get to that. The ODI squad now reads Karen Pollard, captain once again, Shea Hope, vice captain, Fabian Allen, Darren Bravo, Jason Holder, Akil Hussain, Azar Joseph, Evan Lewis, Kyle Mayers, Jason Mohammed, Nicholas Pooran, Romario Shepherd, and Kevin Sinclair. All right. First thing that I want to get into. What are your guys' take on the omission of one, Shimran Etmire, and also Gudakesh Moti? Etmire was left out because, again,
Fitness
West
test.
Indies board said fitness issue. And this is a man that has been banging runs for the Jaguars, you know. And yet they're saying the man has failed to meet fitness criteria. First up, I'm going to give it to Bones. What's your take on it?
So Chris Gayle meet the fitness criteria, but Hetmeyer no meet it. Hetmeyer were hit 113 runs yesterday, no meet the fitness criteria, but 40-year-old Chris Gayle meet it. Okay. I think it's a big call. It's a big decision. Personally, I don't think he should have been left out of the squad. It will be it can come back to haunt the team in terms of, I'm just looking at even Evan Lewis in inclusion over Hetmeyer, and I'm kind of a little bit iffy between Evan Lewis over Hetmeyer. Just a little bit, not really big, but just a little bit, you know, just a little bit of concern.
All right, hold on a second, Bones. I'm going to stop right here. Can I tell you this much? Once Evan Lewis is fit, Evan Lewis will make whatever short format West Indies will play.
I remember
So
Evan Lewis is opener and Hetmeyer is a number 3 or number 4 batsman.
Yeah, and you know, honestly for me, watching Evan Lewis, he have the tendency to fail too often, if you ask me. Like Odima look for me.
Change the statement, man.
anyways, yeah, me just personally, Hetmeyer must in the team for me. That is it first. And as Dima has alluded before with the wicket keeper, there something has to be going on why the West Indies board selectors is going to come and say, after the man play a beautiful innings yesterday in a semi-final, to come and say he doesn't meet the fitness criteria. Something is just off for me right there, to be honest.
All right, yeah. Dimo, I have a two-part question for you. First up, I want your views on the Hetmeyer issue with him being left out again for fitness, and your overall assessment of both squads.
Yeah, so first of all, I think both squads are pretty decent. I think the bowling is a bit weak. I think most of the people who were supposed to be in the team. The Hetmeyer thing is that this is his second field fitness test, so it's not something new because he failed a fitness test before, and obviously he just can't seem to pass it. And not only Shimran Hetmeyer, Ruston Chase also failed that test, and Sheldon Cottrell, but Sheldon Cottrell was injured previously. That's why he didn't play in the Jamaica games. So I can understand why Sheldon Cottrell, because he's a massive omission. Once he's fit, obviously he's your opening pace bowler. He gets wickets at the top. So he would have been in the team. But Ruston Chase and Hetmeyer, they just have to work harder to make the team. But I think the team is very batting strong heavy, and they're just going to have to depend on making a lot of runs, because I don't see where the wickets are coming from. Maybe Hussein, Shepherd, I don't know, but Fidel Edwards, I think, is the massive story here. And I think he's been bowling brilliantly ever since we saw him back.
Clocking over 140 Ks easily.
Yes, man, he fully deserves this spot. And I heard Ravi Rampal saying that he's up for selection too. If
he has, to be honest and to be fair with him, Nadimo, you know that Ravi Rampal has bowled very well throughout this entire competition.
Yeah.
But I want to pick up on something that you mentioned. The team that bothers me the most is actually the ODI squad. Because, all right, you look at the bowling, right? You figure more or less that they're going to open with Romario Shepherd or Alzar Joseph. Right? After that, what comes after that?
That's what I'm saying. It's so weak, boss. The bowling very weak. It's batting strong, and I don't see where the wicket's gonna come from.
Jason Hall and Chris Gayle.
Man, say Chris Gayle.
Oh, pass on. All right. I'm getting a feedback. All right. Your take on the team itself.
A good T20 team. The only exception, I would say, was Jay Solder, but you guys said he performed extremely well in the Big Bash, so I guess his place was merited right there. The one day team, the weakness is in the bowling, as you said, but I think they will get help from Dwayne Bravo is in the one day team, right?
T20.
T20.
Oh, but Darren is in the one day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I guess the bowling is well weak then.
Exactly.
I think they just have to come out good. I know Pollard and his captaincy will help them and drive them over the line, but we just have to work with what we have at our disposal.
All right, and we move on from that and we move into a series that it has been pretty much up and down. The first match of this test series between England and India. England won the first one by over 200 runs. The second test, India ran to victory by over 200 runs. While the third one was finished inside of 2 days. You have that right, and let me point out a few things. Joe Root. You heard me right. Joe Root took a 5-for. And
6
his
overs.
figures was like 6 for 8 runs.
In 6 overs.
Over just let that sink in for a bit. And the man who India brought in for the last 2 matches, the man has taken like around probably over about 15 wickets in the series already. Akshar Patel, he along with Ashwin bowled out England in the second innings. As a matter of fact, it was only those 2 bowlers that were used for England's second innings. First off, Corey, what do you make of this series? Well, not the series, this match itself inside 2 days.
I was looking at the match on my phone, and the results the scorecard was very amusing. I found it very funny. I said Joe Root bowled 6 overs and took 5 wickets, 3 maidens. I was like, and I think he was a 6th change. So I was like, what is going on? And then I went down and I said Axel Patel bowled some overs and took another 5 wickets. I was wow. And then I see the scorecard 145, 112 runs. I was like, something went wrong in that game. When I check it out, I heard some guys saying that the pitch was very awful, and the batting was woeful as well. So I don't know. I just don't know. But congrats to Joe Root and Axel Patel for their 5 wicket haul, and congrats to India and that game. But I think they're gonna investigate that pitch as well.
All right, can I point out one thing?
Yeah.
It's alleged. The key word, it's alleged that because India got bowled off for 36, the Indians have prepared some pitches for a team to beat that score. That's the news that has been making the rounds. That because England bowled them off for 36, they are trying to bowl out England for less than that in this series. But to be honest, inside 2 days, it was a total joke, man. It was a total mockery. And as I pointed out, the first innings, these are the figures. Akshar Patel bowled in the first innings and he took 6 for 38 of 21.4 overs. In that match, Ishan Sharma only bowled 5 overs. In the first innings, Bumrah only bowled 6 overs, while Akshar Patel 21.4 and Ashwin 16 overs. Ashwin took 3 for 26 and Sharma got the other one.
Spinner's paradise.
Yeah. So,
hold on. Before we move on, Dimo. In India's turn at bat, Jack Leach bowled 20 overs and took 4 for 54. Joe Root 6.2 overs, 3 made, 5 for 8. And in England's second turn at bat, when they were bowled out for 81, Akshar Patel 5 for 32 of 15 overs. Ashwin 4 for 48. And Washington Sundar with he didn't even finish the over. 1 for 1. So,
exactly.
Boss, this is a bad man. This should be investigated.
All right. So just a little context. So after the second test, when England piled up all of the bag of runs, after they piled up the runs in the first and all the runs that were made, it's reported that Kohli went and the guy for the first test, the groundsman, he actually got fired for the pitch that he prepared because they didn't get the pitch that they wanted. All that runs was being scored and all of that. So they actually fired that one. And so the one for this they set it that way. And for me personally, I have no problem with you setting a pitch for home conditions. That everybody does it. When you go New Zealand, you get a grass stop. When you go in a subcontinent, you get all those dust pitches. West Indies back in the day used to have fiery pitches where you just fly off of your neck. So if you're home, you set the conditions of the pitch how you want it, right? That's just my view of the thing, right? And so for me, England missed the trick when they didn't play down base. They know that they're coming into a spinning track, and you just go with Jack Leach and then maybe Joe Root for carry over him. And I mean, he did get the best figures of the game. But if you had down base, maybe you'd probably bowl him out.
Timo, I heard that the reason why they're doing it is because they're focusing on rotation. So they might play a few players in this match, then they rotate them, as proven in the second test. Because remember that Bairstow didn't play the second test, they brought him back for the third. So England is focused on rotating the squad at this current point to find the best outlet. Because remember that in the first test, it was just Butler who keep.
Yeah.
They dropped him for the next two games, and it was Ben Foakes who kept. So
you're right.
It's case of rotation. So I understand why Dambes never really played.
Yeah. So just to finish up, it's like for me, it was a very exciting series. It's just the pitch was obviously a disaster. It was a dust bowl, and to just see this happening in professional cricket, it's just amazing to me. But I want to big up Ashwin. I think he is the second fastest in India to get to 400 test wickets, and he did it in 72 games. That's just amazing that he would get to 472. And the guys they just dominated. Like, it was just a crazy series. 2 days that not even happened in a Grey Shield cricket, brother.
Hey.
But it was amazing, man. I loved it.
If Mr. Keith Wellington is listening and you want a sold out stadium, the largest stadium in the world, you want to move your Grace Shield or your Headley Cup to a place where your game is going to be sold out in 2 days, hey, check that Indian stadium. You can go there. You can bring your cricket there.
So like you have money to sponsor the man them. Anyways, let's move on.
It was an absolute joke if you ask me though. It was a joke. Like after India's first innings, I think they were like what 90 something for one or 80 something for one, something like that. And then by the time you look back at the score, they were bowled out for 145. I'm like, what the hell? So it was an absolute joke. I mean, nothing much to spend on it. It's India. They will do everything they need to win. And as Dimo rightly said, every single country that you go, they will set their pitch to suit their condition for them to win a test match. They're not going to set a pitch for their opponents to win. They're going to set pitches for them to win. And India doesn't care about how low they scored in the game. What they care about is the points that they gain to be on top of the table right now.
Yeah, man.
You understand? So that was and probably too with this win, probably Australia now needs to do a little bit more to actually get into the semi-final. So it's a win-win for India. So just take it and move on.
Move on from this now, and then we'll go into some football that will take place over the weekend, some EPL action. First up tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. What has been billed as the top. Some people would have looked at it last year and said, wait, it's not a top 4 fixture, man. But it happens that West Ham is right up there, and tomorrow morning we'll see Man City taking on West Ham at 7:30 a.m. First up, I'm going to give this one to Corey. And let's also find to us. Hold on a second, Corey. Last week, the Sports Frenzzyy panel was on fire. We got 9 out of the 10 fixtures correct. We called them. Yeah. So, guys, stay tuned and pay keen attention. Go win some money. Corey, go ahead now.
Man City versus West Ham. Man City going for their 19th victory. West Ham fighting to stay in the top 4 and showing their credentials that they belong. I don't see this no other way but Man City to win 2-1.
No little analysis, boss man.
No. Man City is just too overclass, and I think Pep want to go for the 19 straight and things. So I would just say 2-1.
All right, Jason, West Brom taking on Brighton at 10 a.m. tomorrow. How you see this one going?
As I alluded to before, the betting people need to take out their notepad because this is going under 2.5. I don't see no whole heap of goals between these two. The last match, I think their same fixture was played in October, and this game ended 1-1. And I mean, that's synonymous with Brighton this season. But Brighton must be looking nervously over their shoulder because it seems as if, they're being drawn in a bit of a relegation battle in a sense. West Brom, admittedly, especially over the last 2 games when they played United, and even with 10 men against Burnley, they showed some fight, and that new striker that they signed, Guyana, he is having a bit of an impact where West Brom is concerned, where in another world we could be looking at probably back-to-back wins for West Brom in those last 2 matches. But overall, Brighton haven't really done well against teams that sit back and sit deep. I think they've only had 1 win in 7 against teams that do that. So I'm going for a draw in this one. Another 1-1 draw. It's the safest thing to do.
All right, boss. Sherwin, Leeds taking on Aston Villa. A match that some might say might be an attacking game. You expect both teams to attack each other, but as we saw last week, Aston Villa is not the same without Jack Grealish, and it is said that there's a likely possibility that he may be playing, and there's also a likely possibility that he may not. So it's a touch and go situation for him. How you see this one going, boss? With Leeds claiming a victory the other weekend as well.
So Leeds are probably looking to complete their first double over Aston Villa since 1975-1976. The last time they met this season, they won. Leeds came away 3-0 victors over Aston Villa. And let me point out something, that Aston Villa has won just 2 of their last 17 away games to Leeds United.
What? Easy stats, man.
2 of their last 17 games. No? So it's going to be a tricky contest. And Leeds, we know they're susceptible to conceding goals, but they also know how to score goals. And if you ask me, going by everything here, if you ask me, I just have to go with Leeds pulling off a 2-1 victory over Aston Villa tomorrow.
Well, Sharon, since as I went to the stats, let me give you a stats for yourself as well that you're passed upon. Leeds have lost 5 of the 8 games they have played on Saturdays in the Premier League this season. So don't be so sure about that one.
That's fine.
That's a
Don't be
stat
so sure.
Levon, your stats more impressive than Feemuj.
17-2.
But it's a tricky fixture, and I expect some attacking outlet. And the thing is that the attacking side of Leeds game, as we always know, that he always tend to comes out. And the thing is that if you look at it, Rafinha has been playing very well for them. He has been a shining light in whatever they have done, and also Jack Harrison. But Bamford seems to kind of pick up a piece of form since recent. You know that Bamford normally misses 10 chances in a match. Bamford seems to find some sort of sharpness. So let's see how this one goes. But as I said, Aston Villa is not the same without Jack Grealish, and that's such a good situation for them. So let's just hope and wait and see what will happen.
Yeah.
Next up, let's see, Newcastle are desperate. When I say desperate, I mean absolutely desperate for a win, taking on Wolves, who they themselves need some win under need their belt as well. So with that being said, Demo, you see this one going?
Yeah, with both teams desperate for a win. If you remember the last game that Wolves won, that Traore kick on off the post off Melier back in the goal. So it's not like they're scoring goals for fun or anything. Newcastle themselves are struggling. Saint Maximum, I mean, he's one of the shining lights, and you can say that he's doing well. But without Callum Wilson, it's going to be very tough for Newcastle to win this game. But I'm actually going to pick this game to end in a draw. I'm going for a 1-1 draw, and both teams cancel each other out.
And let's also point out that Newcastle's best performance this season actually came last week against United. It's the best Newcastle have looked throughout the entire campaign. But will that be enough against this Wolves team that are kind of getting back the players that they need? And the thing is that Newcastle just seems to be on such a downturn that, to me, my personal belief is that they need a change of manager. If they don't get a change of manager ASAP, they're going to be in that relegation zone soon because Fulham is coming after them. And if they should lose this game and Fulham get a victory, there's a likely possibility that Fulham will overtake them. So they're desperate for this win. Will they get it? All the time will tell. Fulham have a winnable fixture come Sunday morning. They're taking on Crystal Palace. And where you see this one going, Jason?
I think Fulham will win this one. I think Scott Parker can get them motivated, especially if the result goes against Newcastle on the Saturday. I think they will have all the motivation in the world to kind of surpass them. You know, it was pretty funny how we pretty much wrote off the bottom three a couple of weeks ago and say, all right, and them three sure to go down, but with Newcastle's downturn and Fulham's resurgence, led by players like Bobby Reed and
Lookman.
doing a name again, man. Lookman, yes, Lookman as well. So I think Fulham are good value. The Crystal Palace new striker Mteta, he scored, so he will be buoyed by his debut goal. But overall, I just think that Crystal Palace are just a stagnant, like mid-table. Them don't really have to worry about relegation. Them not threatening the top half either. So I suspect Fulham will have the extra motivation to actually get the result in this one. So a 1-0 win to Fulham.
All right, so if you expect that to happen, that means that Newcastle will be dragged into the relegation zone come Sunday morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That being said, now we move into the next fixture where we'll see Leicester taking on Arsenal. And since as Bones decided to come on here and give us some stats, let me give you some stats. Leicester have won 4 of their last 6 Premier League matches against Arsenal, more than in previous 36 top-flight league matches against the Gunners. But this is the one that really has me on the edge, and I'm like, this is quite funny. Arsenal have lost their last 3 Premier League matches against Leicester, receiving more red cards than goals that they have scored. With that being said, Bones, it's over to you now.
Well on the bones before you start. The real stats man know.
Quickly, Jason.
Fulham, Leicester has won 6 out of their last 7 games directly after playing on a Thursday in the Europa League. Including in that 6 is that Jamie Vardy masterclass against the Gunners earlier this season.
I remember that.
Go ahead, Bones. Go ahead.
One critical stop on no miss to you know.
Yes, man, listen out.
No, but a little bit. So far since the 1995 season, 3 teams have already done the double over Arsenal. Aston Villa, Wolves, and Manchester City. And pending Leicester City tomorrow. On Sunday. It's going to be a tricky one. Arsenal in a bit of first of all, Arsenal season, as I said the other day, Premier League season is completely over. Arsenal should forget about the Premier League this season and focus on how well they can do in the Europa League. It is completely over. That is the first. I said this the other day, and I'm going to say it again. Arsenal season is over. Zin, It's going to be a tricky game, but an interesting game. Interesting, and one thing I want to see in this game, I'm looking for something from Arteta in this game. I want to see what Arteta is actually doing with the back two, because the previous game against Manchester City, he played Mari and Rob Holding, and then last game in the Europa League, he played Gabriel and Luis. So I want to see if he's going to continue that trend and play Rob Holding and Mari again on Sunday, and then continue to rest David Luiz and Gabriel for the Europa League, which I don't have a
all right. Since hold on, but since as I mentioned that, right? I have to get this in. Here's Sheldon Campbell saying that Arsenal can't win no European title.
A matter of fact, bro, if you go back and look in history, Arsenal actually have one European title. Please and thanks. So keep going. Yeah, so but the biggest concern now, the biggest concern for me now, guys, is my boy Saka. When you look at the amount of Saka has so far played the most minutes for Arsenal this season. See? Just on the week, just after the Europa League game, Arteta was talking about how fatigued he is, but he just can't rest him. No. For me, this is just totally rubbish. It's just rubbish. The guy needs to rest. He's just 19 years old. He cannot be the one that is carrying Arsenal football team and £40,000 a week when you have players like Willan collecting 220,000, and Batman collecting 300, Lacazette collecting 180, David Luiz collecting 120, and all of these players. There's no possible way that this little kid can be the backbone of the team. There is no possible way on earth with these so-called garbage NSWNA stars in your team and a little boy is bringing the team. No, if you ask me, Saka needs to rest. See? Saka needs to rest. And if he doesn't rest, what is going to happen is that he's going to risk him being out for probably 4 to 6 months in the near future, Zine, if he doesn't rest. Yes, we know he's a good player, whatever. This game, honestly, I can't see a win for Arsenal. It's going to be hard. The stats is against them. Everything is against them. The Premier League is against them this season. So, honestly, I'm looking for Arsenal to probably dip a little bit lower down to probably 15 in the next 4 to 5 games, if you ask me. So coming Sunday, the honest truth is, whichever Arsenal fan is out there in the media trying to reel up Arsenal to be this big top fighting club, they can just take their mind off it. Arsenal will probably lose 3 or 4-0 on Sunday, if you ask.
All right, so here's Ryan Lawson quoting, apart from the Bible saying, a child shall lead them. This guy said a child shall lead them. Here he's saying that Saka is the best Arsenal player this season. Come on, that's hands down. But hold on, boss. Before you address that, you need to address this one. Name the European competition that Arsenal won.
Do your research, please. I was
no. I want to know it as well.
Around here, we got to prove our credential that we don't give false information. This show.
I will, as soon as I finish talking, I will look it up. But since this week, I was reading it. Andre, I will.
You know that. Hold on, Bones. You know, for some reason, I think you're intoxicated by the cold weather.
No, sir. No.
I think it's getting to you. You know.
Definitely not
the soccer business. The soccer business. No. Zane, pull up back the one they make me read it again. The soccer business. Zane,
a child shall lead them.
A child shall lead them.
Yeah.
Right. Let me get back my chain of thought now. If Saka finishes the season today, Zane, Saka will still be nominated and voted the best player for Arsenal at the end of the season. If Saka doesn't play a single game for the rest of the season for Arsenal, he is still our best player for the rest of the season. That's it.
Hold on a second though, Bones. One thing I want to ask you, right? Because the previous match that you guys played, before the match you played in the Europa,
Man City.
Yeah, I saw where Arteta actually put the man on the left hand side, in which that's not where he's actually effective. He's more effective on the right hand side. What's
I
your take
think,
on it?
honestly, uh, it baffled me. It baffled me because there something was working for us previous games, and I just don't understand how the manager would have just, because you're coming up against City, you just come up and you just change it by putting him back on the left hand side, which was just totally I was just
Done.
like really it was working. Pepe on the left, Saka on the right. It was working, and then he just changed it for the Manchester City game. What I actually think about it, I actually think it's fear. If you ask me, it's as simple as that. I actually think it's fear. Arteta fear probably losing 3 or 4-0 to Manchester City, so he did everything in his power to keep that scoreline down to 1-0, which was utter rubbish. Don't be surprised. Arteta called Pep Guardiola the night before and begged him not to give the team 4 or 6
Buns.
last Sunday.
I never told it to do a Leonard Lewis and go back in time. Let's move on. Tottenham to take on Burnley Sunday at 9 a.m. Demo.
Tottenham are falling like a ton of bricks. They're probably worse than Liverpool at the moment in terms of how many games they're losing. The thing is, Burnley is such a compact team, and we all know that Sean Dyche is somebody who can pull off a win when it's least expected. The thing is, Mourinho is under severe pressure. He has to start winning games. And with this team, I saw Bale catching form in the Europa League. Dele Alli,
remember, because he took part in 3 of the goals that were scored.
Yeah. So I'm saying Dele Alli has come back like a man on fire and seeming like he's proving a point. And so with all of this, I'm not sure if he's going to play Vinicius because he doesn't seem to trust him in the Premier League, but he's scoring a bag of goals in the other cup competitions. So with all that being said, I think that with the form that they struck in the Europa League, mind you, it's against farmers and plumbers, but with the form that they gathered in the Europa League, I expect them to beat Burnley 2-0.
All right. Next up, match that has been touted as a big match of the weekend.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people said it, the German professor against the Norwegian PE teacher. It's Chelsea against Man United. You see?
Mute my mic.
I'll make sure I roll out the brand new one. You see it? But where's this one going? Corey.
Chelsea, Manu. Manu not performing in the high standards against the big 6. Bruno not showing up in these types of games. Rashford as well. I think the last time we played Chelsea, it was a 0-0 draw, stalemate. We could have lost on a penalty there if the referee did look at the VAR. Manu just not showing up against the big 6. So I think that plays a concern right there. For some reason, this Chelsea team can be beaten. I know that Tuchel comes in and change it up, but this Chelsea team, if you catch them on the counter, they can be beaten. And if Manu just take the chances, I know chances will come because this Chelsea team will give you chances as well. If Manu just take the chances, they can be beaten.
All right, hold on a second, Corey. I mean, address this commenter. Robbie Rich, you're saying that it's 2 small teams. Let me point out that a team that was actually 9th in the Premier League a couple of weeks back actually beat the leaders of La Liga. So your argument gone through the door already, see? And you have Sociedad as this big team as well. United kick up Sociedad 4-0, so take a back page. That's your night. Continue, Corey.
Yeah, so with all of that being said, for some reason, I'm just looking out for a draw right there, probably a 1-1 or a 0-0 draw, and my sentimental expression, probably Manu to eke out a 1-0 win. So it's either a draw or Manu 1-0 win.
Bones, how you see this one going quickly?
I'm seeing Chelsea dominating the game, and playing some very attacking football like they've been doing so far this season. But Manchester United, with the current form that they're in, is always going to put up a fight. So if you just want a raw score from me, I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw for this one.
But I couldn't Chelsea to win, brother.
Eh?
Why
No,
couldn't
man.
Chelsea to win?
A reality we are dealing with now. 2-2.
Why?
Oh no.
It seems like me tell us that the caller get in because this is not you. Now when you come out and say, oh, Tottenham will lose this weekend to Burnley. Chelsea will win this weekend. Something happening to Bones, man. But seems like he has gotten rational, so let's keep it that way. Jason, quickly, your scoreline.
0-0.
Steal.
Hey,
Don't expect any form of excitement. Two class come in and make Chelsea very defensively sound. United only have 1 goal against a top 6 opposition this season, so I do not see it any other way.
All right, boss. Next up on Sunday at 2:15 p.m., see Sheffield United trying to get another win against a big team. Well, a mid-table team currently. Sheffield's taking on Liverpool. Demo, see this one going.
I'm gonna take a deep breath. All right, so here it is. Liverpool are without Jordan Henderson, another injury. Rest in peace to Alisson's father who died, and we're just going through a bag of crisis right now. And it's like Fabinho won't be playing this game as well because he's not ready. So all being said, it's going to be Nat Phillips and Kabak or the new signing Davis to be in the back line on Sunday. Sheffield are horrible this season, and it seems like whenever we are playing against horrible teams and who has never beat us for however long, it seems like when you choose to play right now, that's when you get the victory. But for me, after looking around the table, as you can see in my brackets, top 4 safe. I want you guys to continue to respect the champions as we move forward, because Liverpool will continue to be in the top 4 this season, right? When you look around, all the other games that we went through, we have people fighting for top 4 playing against each other, and they will be dropping points against each other, while Liverpool plays against Sheffield. And I'm pretty sure that we will win this game. I'm going to say that we're going to win this game comfortably and go 3-1 to win this game. I expect Salah and Mane and all the guys to come on and find the scoring boots. And I expect us to dominate the game. Sheffield will sit back, and it's not going to be like Manchester United who they played against. They will sit back and try to soak up the pressure. But I believe that Liverpool now will start to pick up points and start to do it more consistently as we look to cement our spot in the top 4. And all the other teams drop points around us. When you look at the about 5 to 6 games, everybody playing against each other. Chelsea, Man U, Leicester, Man City are going to beat West Ham, and all of these things. So all these people who think Liverpool not making the top 4, open up the eyes and look at the table and the games.
Liverpool will be in Chelsea soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Dima, I have one thing to point out. Tomorrow you'll be, Sunday you'll be happy and you'll be sad because Ryan Bruce scored his first goal for Sheffield United against Liverpool.
Listen, judging the way how our season going, I would not write it off, honestly.
No, but hold on, boss. Listen up. You just said you're sure that Liverpool will win on Sunday.
No, I'm just playing with you. I think we're going to win the game comfortably against Sheffield. They're just too poor this season, and I mean when we were earlier in the season, I mean we struggled to beat them. You know, they actually scored first. That thieving penalty they scored. I think it was Van Den. What I don't remember his name, Sandenberg or whatever. And we came back, and Jota was the one who actually got the winner. So with Jota coming back to be on the bench on the weekend, I expect us to win the game comfortable. Him coming off and get about 20 minutes. And I will win the game.
One thing about Sheffield, though, and we keep on saying it on the live, over the past couple of live, we have said it, from the beginning of the season as well, that even though they have not gotten a result, it's not a case as if they have conceded a lot of goals in these matches. They have been beaten by a hard goal here and there, and every now and then they get beaten by the 2-1 goal. But it's not a case as if they're conceding a lot. So you're saying it will be an easy match for Liverpool. I don't think that's easy. But
Listen, whoever buying bets, put a comfortable 3-0 win for Liverpool tomorrow. It's not even
guys, remember that this was the same man who said to Sherwin that bet your house on a Liverpool victory, and it happened that Liverpool lost that match. So don't trust him on that one.
Don't trust him.
Right. Anybody here disagree that Liverpool will win the game though? Just want to go around the board.
Oh, no.
Okay, so when I ask so far, nobody no disagree.
No man, watch out, man. Bones only has Liverpool are going because they don't know the goat mode thing. So yeah.
Actually, I look for Arsenal and finish 15th and Liverpool 14th based on the predictions.
Let's move on to the final fixture of the weekend, and we'll see Everton taking on Southampton. Both teams who have blown hot and cold this season. This minute they're good, next minute they're absolutely half-full.
Yeah.
Bones, let's see this one going.
Everton, my team versus Southampton. Southampton probably wish it was still November 4th or November 6th. Or I can't remember that time, that period when they were on top of
the count.
Yes, and they talk about stop the count. They're falling really, really bad off form. Everton is hot and cold throughout the season so far. They will provide you a big performance this game, and then tomorrow they come and they lose to West Brom. It's going to be an entertaining game. Southampton will not just drop dead and roll over like that. They're going to come, they're going to fight. So too Everton. So I'm actually looking at this game being the best game of the weekend, if you ask me. I'm actually looking at that. So I'm actually looking at Everton to win the game 3-2 come Sunday.
Everton buoyed by that win over their rivals the other day, Liverpool, that 2-0 victory. But the thing with Everton is that Everton home form has been so poor this season. They are very poor at home.
Yeah, they are.
The thing is that though, they have been unbeaten in their last 15 games against Southampton in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They have 110 and drawn 5. So it kind of leads to the side where Bones is saying that they expect them to win. But the thing is that, Everton has been so inconsistent. As I said, this minute they play very well, and the next minute they are very shambolic. Corey, how you see this one going?
As Owen said earlier, both teams, it's gonna be an attacking game. I say as well. I'm looking for both teams to score. Everton still in the mix for European football. I know they want to finish above Liverpool, so they're gonna fight. So for some reason, I would say a 1-1 draw.
Well, next thing that I want to point out, some stats. Everton have lost their last 3 home games in the Premier League, so that it just substantiates the point that I just made. And Southampton, on the other hand, they have played 2 Monday fixtures and they have won both. They won 2-1 against Brighton, and again. They beat their senior side, in which that is Liverpool. So they beat them 1-0 on the Monday.
Seriously, which team not beat Liverpool?
Just have to rub the salt in the wounds.
Arsenal.
But as I said though, I expect a tricky fixture in this, and it can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I said, both teams are inconsistent, so it can go either way. Just expect that there's a likely possibility that both teams will score.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, we have come to the end of the live. Once again, another successful show. It was a pleasure having you guys here with us. Once again, thanks to Sherwin for being here. Thanks to Corey. Thanks to Demo. Thanks to Jason. Overall tonight, saw where we have at least 35 views at one point, and we've gone over 200 comments. And I want to say thank you to everyone that has followed and liked the Sports Frenzzyy page on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
We just reached a 500 mark. We're on the journey to 600. So please keep on spreading the word, and also go and support the YouTube channel at Sports Frenzzyy. Just go over and subscribe to it and keep on let the thing grow, man. Because if we don't get that, guys, then we won't reach anywhere. We won't reach where we actually want to reach. So we want the support from you guys. So each one that view the show, tell an next person like they subscribe to it and follow and like the page on Facebook. And the man who makes this podcast every night, It's Josh Carl. Big up the producer every time.
Big
That
up.
man is the man is behind the scenes pulling all the strings. So without him, there's no show. And as I said, just continue supporting the movement and let's grow together. Until next time, peace out. Take care of yourself. Blessings.